It's an indictment more than 2 decades in the making.
Maxwell was among Epstein's closest associates and helped him exploit girls who were as young as 14 years old.
Ghislaine Maxwell, longtime girlfriend of disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein, arrested and charged for her alleged role in the recruitment and sexual abuse of young girls.
Maxwell and Epstein had a method. Typically, they would befriend these young girls by asking them questions about their lives, pretending to be taking an interest in them. They would take them to the movies and treat them to shopping trips. Maxwell would encourage these young girls to accept offers from Epstein to pay for their travel and their education, making these young victims feel indebted to Jeffrey Epstein.
Investigators say Maxwell played a critical role in what has long been believed to be a sex trafficking operation spanning decades and crossing continents.
After developing a rapport with the victims, Maxwell then tried to normalize sexual abuse with a minor victim through a process known as grooming. For example, Maxwell would discuss sexual topics with the victim and undress in front of the victim, or be present for sex acts involving the minor victims and Epstein. Maxwell's presence as an adult woman helped put the victims at ease.
The 18-page indictment claims that between 1994 and 1997, Maxwell knowingly facilitated Epstein's access to victims, knowing his preference for underage girls.
Maxwell and Epstein worked together to entice these minor victims to travel to Epstein's residences, his residence in New York City on the Upper East Side, as well as Palm Beach, Florida, and Santa Fe, New Mexico. Some of the acts of abuse also took place in Maxwell's residence in London, England.
Investigators have also charged Maxwell with perjury for allegedly lying during a 2016 deposition.
Maxwell lied because the truth, as alleged, was almost unspeakable. Maxwell enticed minor girls, got them to trust her, then delivered them into the trap that she and Epstein had set for them. She pretended to be a woman they could trust.
Maxwell's indictment comes almost a year after Epstein's own indictment on federal charges of sex trafficking minors in Florida and New York. Epstein was found dead in his jail cell a month later, the medical examiner ruling his death a suicide.
As an Epstein survivor, this day represents a new beginning. This is the beginning of justice, which we survivors have been seeking for decades.
That was Maria Farmer, who claims both she and her sister were abused by Epstein and Maxwell in the early 90s. While Maria's allegations were never prosecuted, investigators are hoping Maxwell's indictment will help heal old wounds.
There never was, nor shall there be, an excuse for the criminal behavior you were subjected to. We know that your quest for justice has been met with great disappointment, and that reliving these events is traumatic. The example set by the women involved in this investigation has been a powerful one. They persevered against the rich and the connected, and they did so without a badge, a gun, or a subpoena, and they stood together.
The arrests in this case may not end with Ghislaine Maxwell.
The target is not just this woman. The target is the entire organization that allowed this kind of perpetual, systematic, and habitual abuse to exist out in the open for so long. I will not be surprised at all if there are additional arrests, additional people brought in, both unknown and possibly very famous. This is a black book filled with a lot of big names, and people are running scared.
Joining us now live outside the federal courthouse in Manhattan is Newsy national correspondent Axel Tercios. Good morning to you, Axel. First of all, set the scene. This is a case that has huge interest. A lot of people in New York waiting for this day, which is about to start up in a matter of minutes.
Ted, good morning. You know, it is expected that prosecutors are going to show, they have said it before, that they're going to show the Ghislaine Maxwell's contact book that apparently contains information from rich and powerful men that might be linked to the alleged abuses. Also, the defense is expected to argue that Ghislaine Maxwell is getting an unfair trial and that she is being held based on Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. And also, there's an apparent recordings of the alleged abuses, so the jury has to rely on these 4 women's accusations and also Ghislaine Maxwell's denials.
Let's talk about the specific charges. You mentioned Jeffrey Epstein. He's dead, obviously, and the defense is basically saying, oh, yeah, you're coming after our client because you lost him in custody, and that's part of the equation here. Let's talk about the specific charges that Ghislaine Maxwell is facing.
Yeah, so Ghislaine Maxwell is facing 8 counts, specifically accused of luring minors to travel and engage in illegal sex acts, conspiracy to transport minors with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity, and sex trafficking conspiracy, Ted.
Yeah, and so there's a lot there. It's going to be a case that lasts 6 weeks, and we do expect several of the victims to walk into that federal courthouse behind you and tell their tale. What do we know about them?
Yeah, so these are now 4 grown women who said when the alleged abuses happened, they were as young as 14. And those alleged abuses apparently happened in the 1990s and early 2000s. And as you were saying, yes, Jeffrey Epstein is dead and there's no tape recording. So the jury will have to decide whether to believe these women who are saying that they were abused or if they're going to believe Ghislaine Maxwell. And also what we know about one of them specifically, her name is Annie Farmer. She alleges she was 16 when she was tricked into visiting Epstein's New Mexico ranch under the lie that she was attending an event for college-bound students. She has said before in interviews that when she went to the place, there were no students, and then Ghislaine Maxwell tried to groom her by taking her to shopping and also to the movies, and also she gave her an unsolicited massage while she was topless. Ted.
There are no cameras in this courtroom because it's federal court, of course, Axel, but paint the picture for us. I see lots of media, I assume, outside the courthouse with you.
Yes, a lot of media right here, and right now we just learned that one of those women who have accused Ghislaine Maxwell, she made her way into the courtroom just a few minutes ago.
Okay, a lot of anticipation starting again. Opening statements expected in the next few minutes there in Manhattan. Axel Tercios, thank you for your reporting. National correspondent for Newsy. We're going to step aside, take a break. Coming up, what will Ghislaine Maxwell's defense look like? We'll talk about that when we return. Stay with us.